I will teach you how to stand out from the competition. Are you ready? I'll teach you right now. I won't even make you wait till tomorrow. Here's how to do it. Well, actually, I want to teach you how to set yourself up as an expert and stand out from the competition. Many people think you need to have a PhD, or you have to be a best-selling author, or you have to have been coaching for years, or have lots of success stories. Like, that's what you need, and you build all this stuff up so that you are so good, right? And then you can start going and getting clients. But the reality is, all that stuff is irrelevant. It can help if you have it. It's a nice feather in the cap. It could be a shortcut to building credibility. But the best way to stand out from your competition, and the best way to be an expert, is to be able to do two things really well. Number one, and this one's the most important. They're both pretty damn important. But number one is to be able to speak the language of your clients. If you can speak the language of clients better than other people, people will be drawn to you. And the language of clients is the language of results. So you want to be able to describe the kind of results people are looking for and the situation that they're in right now. So if they're struggling or frustrated or whatever is going on, you need to be able to describe what's happening for them. Like, for example, I just learned something, that some people feel betrayed by time. And if I put that in my marketing and you feel that way, you're going to feel like I'm reading your mind. You're going to feel like I know what you're going through. And if I know what you're going through, then you by default assume that I must know the solution. That's what happens in our minds. So if you can describe what I'm going through, if I can describe what you're going through, like, maybe you got here and you were thinking, oh, it's going to be so great, I'm going to learn lots of stuff. And some people got here and thought, oh, I don't know, I'm coming here. Is this going to be any good? Maybe I already know all this stuff. I don't know if I'm going to learn anything new. But maybe you're already learning something new. But you're like, some of you might be thinking, but I don't want to know all this philosophy and inner game bullshit. I want to just tell me, what do I say to get clients? Where do I go? Where do the high-end clients sign up? Just tell me that. I know some people are thinking that. And the more I can know it and address it, the more we have rapport. Because I'm going to get to you guys. And I'm going to share the things that you came here for. I guarantee it. And I will also guarantee that the things you think you came here for probably aren't the things that you most need and the things that you'll be most grateful that you got. So number one, if you can talk about what people are already thinking, feeling, what they're going through, and if you can use the words that they use, like betrayed by time, and you can describe the situation that they're in, like, who could relate when I described, if you were single, who here could relate with, like, being single and being lonely and wanting to be in a relationship and maybe being hurt and, like, that whole, like, back and forth? Who here could relate to that? So, like, if you can not only describe, or, like, let's say if you are single, or if you're coach people who are single, if you were to talk about, like, what it feels like, or situations that people have when they're single that make them feel lonely. Like, maybe you go to the movies by yourself, and maybe you're even a little embarrassed to go to the movies by yourself, and then you see a couple cuddling, holding hands. They move up the armrest between the chairs, and they scooch in closer, and there's a part of you that's like, oh my God, that's so beautiful, and there's another part of you that's like, why can't I have that? And then you imagine that, they're in love right now, but 6 months from now, they're probably going to be fighting and broken up anyway. because there's a party that's bitter, but there's another party that's hopeful, and you don't want to be bitter. And you want, you hope that their relationship's going to last forever and they'll be happy forever, and you want that for yourself. And the more you can describe a situation that people are going through, the more people feel connected. There's rapport, trust, and unconsciously a belief that if you know all that, then you must know how to get them the thing they want. The second thing that will set you up as an expert and help you stand out from your competition is being able to teach something immediately valuable to your prospect. If you can teach them something that they can find immediate value from, they're going to trust you, more rapport, deeper trust, they'll see you as an expert, they'll think you have the solution, and they'll want to work with you, they'll want to get your help. And we'll work on that too. What's that thing that you could teach that could be immediately valuable, that could help them instantly just by reading it? And if you can do those two things, then none of the other stuff matters. Somebody else might be a dating coach, and they have a PhD, and they wrote a book, but you speak their language better. Maybe the book they wrote is How to Open Your Heart to Love, and you wrote a one-page article on how to find your soulmate now, right? So if this is what people want, this is speaking their language, the other person's an author, maybe they have a PhD, maybe they've been coaching for 20 years, but people are going to connect to you because you're talking about what they want. That's how you stand out. Is that helpful? Okay, the market is not saturated. I don't know how many coaches there are on planet Earth, but let's just round up and say there are 1 million. Now, I'm guessing there's a lot less than 1 million. But let's say there's 1 million. Sometimes it feels like there's 1 million. When you hang out in a group like this, it's like, oh my gosh, you're a coach too. Oh, I'm a parenting coach. Oh, I am too. And it feels like, oh, everybody's a coach, And if you hang out and you go to some coach networking this and you coach networking that and seminar here, and oh my God, there are coaches everywhere. You go to a networking event, there's coaches. It can feel like there's lots of coaches, but you know what? There's the demand for coaching versus the amount of coaching that's available to the world. It's like this much coaching's available. Like if we took all of our available coaches and all of our availability to take clients, it's like this compared to like the entire world of people who want to hire somebody to help them get results. Not people who are looking for coaches, but people who are looking for results. People who are trying to grow their business but struggling. Salespeople who want to get more customers and make more commissions but are struggling and can't get as many sales as they want. Parents, how many parents are there whose kids are driving them crazy? All of them. How many people that hate their job and wish they could figure out a job that they would love and they could make, get paid just as well, if not better, doing something they were really good at and they were born to do. I mean, just think about all the people who hate their job. That's pretty much all of them too, right? About 80% of the people out there hate their job. I don't know if that's the actual number, but it's probably in the ballpark, or at least don't love their job. My guess is less than 20% of people love their job. So those are all people who, now all people who don't like their job aren't necessarily looking and seeking help and want to find a shift, but there's a lot of them that are, right? And especially if you look at all over the world, there's 7.5 billion people. And if there's only 1 million coaches, which is being generous, because there's probably nowhere near 1 million, but let's say there are 1 million. 1 million versus 7.5 billion. That's a pretty good ratio. And now let's say even out of that 7.5 billion, let's say 80% of those people aren't ready for coaching right now today. That's still like nearly 1 billion, or like it's high. There's plenty of people out there. the reason people don't have enough clients has nothing to do with the lack of demand for coaching, and has everything to do with a lack of understanding of how to get clients consistently that pay well, that pay you what you want,